The business.
Welcome back to another episode, another installment of Day One Radio right here on ablradio.com. That's Art, Beats, and Lyrics Radio to be exact. Make sure you download the very free, very accessible smartphone app for your iPhone and Android devices. And B, tell them where they can find the entire Day One Radio catalog.
You can always check us out on day1radio.com, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, everywhere else that you can find podcasts. What's going on, brother?
Everything's cool, man. You know, it's like winding down to this crazy year, man. We got, 2 weeks left?
Yeah, man. Crunch time. Time to get, or off time, one of the two, depending on your perspective. Some people done already checked out.
I don't think a lot of people are getting a lot of off time this year because both the holidays fall on Sundays, so folks are going right back to work.
Well, you Monday. Know how this is. You know, pretty much in the entertainment industry, people stop working after Thanksgiving and really don't go back to work until about January 4th.
Right. It's time for all the holiday Christmas parties and all that kind of stuff, man.
Exactly. So, but yeah, man, we ain't been in here in a couple weeks. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the Daddy-O part 1 and part 2, man. Dropped a lot of game on there. It's been getting great feedback. And since then, man, we went through Thanksgiving and all kind of stuff, man, since then. So everything been good, man?
Everything been cool, man. I followed Plies' directions, you know what I'm saying, threw away my leftovers by Saturday because, you know, I was guilty in prior years. I never thought of it like that, you know what I'm saying, because I would really be eating on turkey sandwiches and stuff like that in the past until at least that Tuesday, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you got to chill out sometimes on the I got tired of leftovers like the day after, man. It's you know. Can't always eat on that turkey forever, man. At least go give it to some homeless folks or something when you get done with it. But yeah, everything's been cool. Just been on the road, man. Went to Mexico and then went to San Diego working, man. So it's been cool. Hung out with the homie Cynthia out there when I was in San Diego. So
all right, cool.
You know, our tourist tour music tour extravagant manager extraordinaire, Miss Cynthia Charles, so that was cool, man. I had a good time. And it's been, we got blessed, man, with several projects that dropped over the last week, man. Have you been listening to the new music and in turn all the opinions?
I've seen a lot of the opinions that haven't gotten around to the music because I actually got overwhelmed by all of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, God damn, this is a lot of music to digest. You know what I'm saying? Because the way my life is shaped now, I gotta kind of have like time to like ride with it, you know, live with it. I just can't just, oh shit, the shit just came out. I'm about to listen to it right now. I'm gonna stop everything I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it almost like reminded me of that day back in 98 when like Outkast, Aquemini, Jay-Z, Hard Knock Life, what else came out? Brand Nubian, Gangsta Boo. I think all those albums dropped the same day. And it's like what just happened this past Friday kind of like reminds me of the same thing. Like all these albums dropped the same day. You know, so it seemed like a lot of fans got satisfied. It seemed like a lot of people's favorite rappers all dropped projects, man.
So obviously the headliner, if you know, as far as marketing and shit is concerned, that dropped was For Your Eyes Only, the J. Cole album.
Was it really marketing behind it though? It's
yes,
like,
dude. We can't fall for the, hey, I'm going to drop an album in 2 weeks. That's marketing. At this point, that's a marketing campaign. It's been done several times. It's been done twice by Cole. So you kind of got to, you know, roll with it. That's his thing.
I didn't see really any promo. It's like I mean, yeah, like the thing leaked out because somebody was nosy on iTunes. Like, oh man, look at that.
Man, you know what I'm saying?
There wasn't any announcement on any like of the Dreamville J. Cole social medias until like damn near like 3 days before.
Whenever the pre-order goes up, it's automatically they know somebody. Come on now. This ain't a rapper A. This is Rock Nation. This is their first artist. They are invested in it.
I know that, but I mean, like, I didn't see like an official like thing happen. You know, it seemed like it was all just somebody being nosy and the thing, the word gets out.
Why they gotta be nosy?
I'm not saying that, they didn't, have a plan as far as, okay, we're going to release it on this day or whatnot. But
but at the same time, like the other joint with Tech 9 came out, Ab-Soul came out, those were essentially kind of the same things. I don't know about the Tech 9 rollout because Tech 9 is always in the media some kind of way because he's always touring. But they didn't announce the Ab-Soul date until like 2 weeks before too. So, but it's definitely a Roc Nation push behind this shit. Like, you don't just pop up on every website just because. Conversations were had, for sure. But what do you think about the album and the subsequent reaction to the album?
I mean, after riding to it, living with it, chilling with it, all that stuff, man, it's like the first listen, I was like, okay, yeah, this is cool. Then, when I started listening to it more, I did kind of start understanding how folks could say, like, okay, man, this is kind of boring because, like, I'm not sure if the first half of the album has as much replay value as the second half of the album. You know what I'm saying? It seems like after Neighbors, it got a little more entertaining for me. You know what I'm saying? Everything before that was like, okay, I can skip these songs. I can do without these songs. But everything after Neighbors, I was like, okay, I am really listening to what you have to offer on these songs. Like, I do dig, Ville Mentality is a cool beat and everything, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I think after Neighbors, that's where it's like, okay, I can listen to these songs again.
That's only 3 songs after Neighbors.
No, it's like it's like Neighbors is like what, track 5 or 6, right?
Neighbors is track 7.
Oh shit.
But yeah, I mean, I just think it's weird, this love-hate relationship with J. Cole, because I feel like the same thing that everybody loved him for the last year or 2 years is the same thing that people was complaining about on this album. Like, he works within a bubble. Mm-hmm. Like, he's going to make the music that he wants to make, and if you want to call it boring, then call it boring. If you want to call it disjointed, then call it disjointed. But it's a J. Cole album. That's what J. Cole albums sound like.
Yeah, because I heard a lot of people saying, like, oh, man, he needs different kind of beats. I'm like, what kind of beats exactly? It's like, do you really want to hear Cole on a Young Chop beat? Do you really want to hear him on, something that, people are, I guess, describing as more upbeat, a different BPM? Because, I mean, if you say, oh, man, he needs some Pete Rock beats, it's like, I can't really see a difference between what a Pete Rock would offer him as to what he would be producing for himself.
I mean, the Deja Vu joint isn't really a J. Cole sounding beat, and he's working with, some OVO cats on that. And, it's a few, I mean, it doesn't all sound like one track. There is some variety within the beats. We've discussed this on the show before. I don't understand. I appreciate J. Cole. I do not understand what all the hoopla is about. Like, he is he's not a star to me. Like, I think our homeboy Jerry Barrow summed it up best and was like, J. Cole is essentially doing what Odyssey would be doing if Odyssey had the Roc Nation cosign.
Well, I mean, you also have to consider...
Even though Odyssey's a much better rapper than J. Cole.
J. Cole also, he came... he can be comparable to Kanye in a way as far as, like, being the guy that a specific group of people can relate to. Like, the same way Kanye came out and everybody's like, okay, yeah, I never shot anybody, I never sold dope, I also dropped out of college and I was raised this way, this is why I roll with this dude. So then like a generation later you have essentially a similar story where it's hey, this is what I did, I lived a regular life, I did this X, Y, and Z, and these are the stories that I'm telling along the way, whether it's the song where he had about trying to get the girl to have an abortion, or him having a song about, hey, man, I can't sleep at night. There's all these revolutionary thoughts in my head. How do I change the world? So it's like I see how a generation of people can look at him the same way that they look at a Kanye as far as, like, being different from the prototypical guy that has, the hit songs on the radio or the prepackaged image where it's like, hey, look at me. I am a star. Look at me. I am better than you.
But Kanye was a star. Even though he was trying to be super regular, Kanye was a star. You could
he was
tell
he was a star pre-college dropout. Folks was looking at him like, I can't wait for this guy. Like, Grant, the music spoke for itself because his music was dope. But it's like people were really looking at Kanye pre and during college dropout. Like, oh wow, man, this is it. He got it. This is the man. He got it.
And part of that was, you know, if you've produced records for Jay-Z on a classic Jay-Z album and you have that Rockefeller cosign, then cool. And it was sort of the same way. This is the guy that we looked at as Jay has anointed his successor because he was the first artist on Rock Nation, even though they don't work together much. So let's not lose sight of the fact that it's the same machine for the most part that put out Ye. And they're both producers, both self-contained for the most part early on. You know, obviously Cole has Elite, who he's been working with for a while. But I just, you know, to me, Cole has always been Cole to me. Like, I don't get it. Like, and I really don't feel like you have one of those songs on here that's like, oh, wow, that's that one that really hits home with me, that touches me. I think the closest you have to that is the title track, and it's not even about him.
Right.
So, and I don't even know, I don't know if this has the same replay value as the last album.
It's like, I think this is an album, you know, that you kind of just stream at the house when you're doing. No, seriously, like that's when I've been enjoying it most. When I tried riding to it, I was like, nah, I'm not really feeling this riding to this in my car. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure as hell not about to bump it in the gym. But when I'm at the house doing the things that he rapped about, like folding clothes, it was like
hilarious.
Yeah, like this is my shit right now.
I can see that. I can see that. It's yeah. I don't remember where I was when I first tried to listen to it, and I really got through like 3-4 songs. But I played it at the crib earlier today, and I was like, I appreciate it more. And I was cleaning up and you know sweeping and shit or whatever. But
it's kind of like how you might be at the house. And you're reading a book or you're watching a Netflix documentary or something like that. Like, this is definitely an at the crib type album when you're doing regular at the crib type stuff, which seems to be the life that this dude is living right now. Just at the crib with the wife and child, chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not doing too much. I think like that's the feel I get from the album. That's where I think is most appreciated at. You know, outside of those places, I'm not sure, and it's like I don't really know if it's fair for people to try like force it into those kind of contexts or environments. Because I was hearing people saying stuff like, "Yo, man, he ain't got nothing in here for the radio, or nothing in here for the club, or nothing in here for the DJs." And it's like, but think about the people that he does have something for on here. You know what I'm saying? Everything doesn't have to be for a radio or a club all the time. You know what I'm saying? Some things can just be enjoyed in other places outside of the typical, party environment.
Right. And listening to the album made me kind of, and I've thought this for a while, but I won't take full credit for it. But a person, I don't know if it's a young man or a young lady by the name of Tarhaka Love, wrote something for Hot New Hip Hop, and it says, "Why a J. Cole Kendrick Lamar collab album is a bad idea."
I saw that floating around, man. What did you say?
It was earlier this month. This person wrote it, and shout out to you. Sorry, you ain't got no picture up either, so I don't know if you're a man or a woman. Not that matters. But yeah, I initially, and the article got tore down in comments and all of that, but that it was a well-written article, made some very valid points. And the one thing that I was like, this person may be correct, is because the collaboration albums that we've gotten so far haven't been all that great. I mean, Collard Grove was okay. Future and Drake was okay. Like, this isn't one of the, who else do we have? There's somebody.
I mean, what'd you think? I mean, well, Run the Jewels is one of the better examples. You know what I'm saying?
That's a little different because they actually sat down and worked on an album as opposed to emailing tracks back and forth. Like, and nobody was like, oh, hell yeah, LP and Killer Mike are going to make some dope-ass music together. That shit came out of nowhere. He was like, oh, okay.
Well, what about Watch the Throne? Would you hold that as like the
that's a good album.
The standard of the high profile rapper collaboration.
Yeah, and it's been a minute though. I mean, it's different. I was gonna say Prime, but that's not a rapper. It's a rapper and a producer, which is incredible. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be insulting to Cole or his fans, but Kendrick and Cole are on two different levels as far as an MC right now. And that might be a good thing. It's good to be able to play off each other. It's kind of like that E40 Be Legit thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you have somebody with a really intricate flow, you have somebody with a very simple flow, and it sounds great together. We'll see. We have, 2 examples?
Yeah, but it's like with Cole and Kendrick, if they were to do a collaborative album, like the strength would have to be in the concepts. I don't think it would be an entertaining listen if they were just trying to go in the studio on some old bars for bars rapping. Like it would have to be concepts. Like because even like the Neighbor song I keep bringing up. Like for some reason that first verse was like it makes me feel like that was supposed to be something for him because he's damn near rapping like Kendrick on the first verse. I'm like, man, I can really hear Kendrick going there. So it's like if it's a concept song like that where it's like they're telling, life stories or, drawing parallels between their backgrounds. Yeah, but like if it's just bar for bar rapping or just,
even the first verse on Ville Mentality where he's talking about trying to escape stardom is a very To Pimp a Butterfly-esque type of song. So I don't know if this is something that I mean, Cole's beats are not all that great. Like his production is cool, but it ain't stellar. You know what I mean? So ain't nobody beating down his door.
Like I don't know if this producer wants his name attached to this statement, but I was talking to a very, respected producer not too long ago, and he was like, nothing happens in his beats. Like, nothing happens. Like, nothing happens in J. Cole's beats. Like, great production, something is happening. Like, something happens. Like, oh, there's a change in there. Oh.
Some Dilla type shit.
That's my favorite part. Oh, there's a sound I never heard before. Oh, you know what I'm saying? It's like, he said nothing happens in his beats.
And I don't even know if he produced The Tale of Two Cities, but that's probably like the dopest beat he's rapped over. But I just feel like I don't want to necessarily hear an album where, like you said, they're just going bar for bar and just rapping. Like I want them to bring something substantial to the game that people are not expecting. Or maybe that we are expecting because of the caliber of artists that both of them are. But and the rumor mill is saying that we'll see the album in summer 2017. That's what I'm hearing in these industry streets. And Ab-Soul has already confirmed that they've been working on it forever. So
because I remember a prior interview around the time that the Forest Hill Drive dropped. He was saying that he sent one of those beats to Kendrick. And he said, Kendrick sat on it for a minute, and then like he just up and decided, damn, I got an idea for that beat. He hit him like, hey man, you gonna use that beat still? It's like, I was about to, like, shit, let me get it back right quick, bro. You know what I'm saying? I want to put it on my album now, and it wound up going on Forest Hill Drive. You know what I'm saying? So like, they have been working on this for a while and exchanging stuff.
And I mean, I think the camps work well together, and we saw that with Boss being on the Ab-Soul album, which is super dope. Did you get a chance to listen to the Ab-Soul album yet?
I'm gonna try again, man. Like I've never really been able to get into Buddy like that, man.
Me either. I haven't either, but I was in San Diego and I was working. I was like, man, it's a beautiful day. Let me go take a walk. And I put it on, walking along the beach, man. And I was like, he's always been spitting. Like Ab-Soul can rap his ass up.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was more him. Like it wasn't too, hippie, out there, hallucinogen.
Yeah.
It was very much concept driven, but it was kind of street too. And I think he kind of hit his stride on this one. And the music is dope. And like always, he's spitting. Like I give it a try. Because I haven't been a fan of Ab-Soul projects in the past. Like my cousin Jerm has tried to get me on it like crazy. And I'll be like
he's definitely had songs that I have really liked, and even guest appearances that I have really dug. As far as like, okay, I'm going to sit down to listen to what this man has to say for roughly 60 minutes. never quite been able to, you know what I'm saying, to get into dude to that extent, man. But I'm going to try him out. I'm going to try it again.
Nah,
man.
you gotta listen to it, man. It's a hard ass album, bro. Like it's very much concept driven, but it's still real cool, and it's out there. Like you could tell he be messing around with drugs here and there.
Right.
I mean, anytime.
And that's the thing too, man. It's like I've noticed this about myself. Like I don't experiment with drugs. You know what I'm saying? I don't experiment with drugs. So it's like a lot of artists that do, and you know, they make it apparent in their music. 'Cause I'm pretty sure there are a lot of great artists that experiment with drugs, but the music still comes out in a palatable way. You know what I'm saying? Because hell, like, rest in peace to Pimp C, like, he was trying a lot of drugs, but it still came out. Like, he wasn't rapping about the drugs that, like, you know, it just, oh, this ecstasy doing this and then and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It still came out a certain way. So it's like, when I hear artists that it's apparent that the drug has taken over the track, I could never get into that stuff. I think the only rapper that I can really enjoy like that probably is like Danny Brown, because the music damn near sounds like a drug, not necessarily a nigga on drugs making music. It's like, okay, I think I know what this drug feels like. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? But that's probably like the only rapper I could get into where it's like, okay, this guy's obviously on some drugs, but you know, this shit is coming out cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good album, man. I haven't got into the Tech 9 album yet. I need to definitely check that out because I rock with Tech. And but yeah, it was a lot of music that came out, man. We got a lot of stuff to listen to over the next few weeks, for sure, most definitely. So I meant to ask, did you go visit Donald Trump today too?
No.
Okay.
But this is my thing about Trump, man.
A lot of black people went and visited Trump the day we recorded this. So
yeah, Jim Brown, Ray Lewis, Kanye-West. Like this is my thing about Trump.
Some random pastors, but random pastors always trying to get in where they fit in.
So I use the word we very loosely. But we, black folks, are we supposed to just not talk to dude? Are we supposed to just not engage with dude? Are we just supposed to not take him up on invites when he's extending them? Are we just supposed to not reach out to him? I mean, I'm kind of confused because it's like, you know, when the first hour of the whole Kanye went to visit, like all the jokes and stuff, after that subsides, I mean, people are going to get their jokes off. Like, oh, man, what the hell wrong with the dude? But then it's like after all that, you know, subsides, it's like, okay, what are we really upset about here when we see somebody like him or just any black person, period, it seems now, go to visit this man? It's like, are we not supposed to? I mean, even like Bob Johnson talked with him a couple of weeks ago. And judging from the interview that Bob Johnson gave about the interview, it's like, this sounded like a pretty fruitful, genuine conversation. You know what I'm saying? It's like Bob didn't necessarily come out the conversation like, yeah, this is my guy. But he was just like, look, man, I mean, we just can't just not talk to dude. You know what I'm saying? And he dropped a quote, too. He was like, black folks don't need permanent enemies. We don't need permanent friends, but we do need permanent interest. And it's like,
exactly.
If you got permanent interest, I mean, this is the guy that you probably want to be talking to. Because, like, even after, you know, all the anger of him, you know, getting, you know, elected and everything, I was just like, so, like, and even the people that elected him, I was like, so, like, are we just about to just stop talking to these people? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so, oh, man, fuck you. You voted for him and F him, too. It's like, so we're just not talking to each other now. I mean, that's going to create even bigger problems, more division. You know what I'm saying? That's why I wasn't really tripping over the last 2 weeks either with the whole Trevor Noah and Charlamagne talking to the Tommy Loren
I
girl.
definitely had a problem with that shit.
It's like, are we just supposed to just not talk to people?
But, bro, you got to understand something. There's a difference between talking to someone that's in power that can help you change your situation and talking to somebody for attention. There's a very big difference. A lot of times these people, especially talking to Tommy Loren, these people want attention. And you can tell they want attention because of the comments that they've made in response to people having a problem with it. Saying that other people should follow her lead and create. She didn't create a platform.
That was garbage.
Blaze created a platform.
That was a garbage
But
quote.
even beyond that,
was
we have to be more intelligent in our dialogue if we are going to talk. you have to know the difference between somebody actually meaning what they say and somebody saying something because that is the status quo of the line that they pushing. Like, intelligent people know when they're saying ignorant things. Mm-hmm. And you can look at somebody and feel somebody's energy when they're saying something that they know is complete and utter bullshit, but they're saying it because that is the line they pushing. Like, this is what we doing. And I'm not stirring away from this. I don't care what you say. I don't care how convincing you are. And to me, that's why it doesn't serve a purpose to speak on a public platform with somebody who is completely and totally against your ideals, and you know they're not going to change no matter how much logic is put before them. So I consider those conversations that Charlamagne and Trevor Noah had to be completely different from a behind closed doors meeting with the president-elect.
Right. Okay.
It ain't the same thing.
Okay. But even back to Trump, like, so it's like folks are getting mad about, you know, black folks, just anybody, period, that they assume that, you know, oh man, I thought you was one of us. Like, how dare you talk? Like, so I was like, are we just supposed to just not talk to dude? Like, is that the line that we're pushing? Like, hey, not my president. I ain't talking to this dude.
Yeah, but it is. And I mean, if you're a United States citizen, this person, whether you're elected or not, is the president of the country that you have citizenship in, period. No, you ain't got to support him, but it is what it is. And, you know, I just have an issue, and it's very interesting, and we'll play the clip. Jim Brown went and met with him. And, you know, Jim Brown's always been a polarizing figure, but he's done a lot of good in our communities, 100%. Can't deny that.
Tell you, the President of the United States brought me, my president. You know, that's he won it fair and square. He's going to be our man for the next 4 years at least, probably 8. And he's amenable to listening to people who did not vote for him.
He listened to you. You told me in commercial break that you all were in there for a long time.
Yes.
What did you talk about, and what did you ask of him?
We talked about making America a better country. We talked about the poor people. We talked about African-American people. We talked about education, getting rid of violence, dealing with economic development realistically, and how to work together.
But he said that he met with the president-elect and he got elected fair and square. I was like, so that's one of the points they told you to push on CNN. Like, it's cool. We know it's got to be the back and forth. To give, you got to get, and vice versa. But he made a very excellent point when he was saying, I came in, met with him, and it was a very good meeting. And he was open to discussing African-American issues. Those words are rarely ever said when dealing with politics on this level. Most time it's minorities, people of color, urban, all of that. And even in the interview straight out, Ray Lewis tried to push that urban shit, but we know Ray is on Ray is tap dancing and kissing ass. Right. We know what he's
auditioning.
Exactly. So, but I thought it was interesting that Jim Brown said that. And you're right. I mean, you can't just be like, if somebody of power is putting an invitation out there, there's nothing wrong with sitting down and having a conversation, even if you're just having a conversation to state your points and to state, yo, on some real stuff, we don't rock with you, but you're in a position to change something. So this is what we need from you. What do you need from us? And one thing I will say that Jim Brown also said was, it's very interesting that Trump is reaching out to people that did not support him at all.
Right.
And that's interesting. And to keep it super 100, he's doing more in a week than Democratic presidents have done in an entire term.
But he ain't even in the seat yet. He ain't even in the seat.
And granted, he might not do nothing. He's known for making promises to black folks and not following through. If you research the whole riverboat casino situation that he got sued for, so ain't nobody saying Donald Trump is an angel. It's just, it is what it is. I mean, and I can't be mad at people for going to sit down. I don't quite understand the Kanye thing. They said they've been friends for a long time. Who knows? That shit just looked real weird. Kanye looked very strange.
Yeah, I think that was just a straight fame, ego type move. That
on whose part?
I don't know. It's something that went over a lot of folk head. I think that was just straight, just like, hey, just some old famous shit that we ain't meant to understand or try to, because that was just weird. It's like of all people and of all times, like you fresh out the hospital, you know what I'm saying? And
like he went to a furniture show at Mocha in L.A., and this is his other appearance after getting out the hospital. So I don't quite understand it, but hey, man, yeah, do what you do, brother. He's Kanye is gonna Kanye, man. That's just what it is. At the end of the day.
Something that you briefly mentioned, like granted, like I don't really have too many expectations of the president-elect, but like you said, like for Jim Brown to get up there and say African Americans specifically, and if my ears are still working, it's like even through the Trump campaign and all the crazy stuff he was saying, it's like dude seemed to kind of be addressing people, whether it's in the negative or the positive. He was addressing people specifically according to their communities. I didn't hear a lot of like lumping together of people.
Even his plan, when he finally put out a plan, was very specific. And granted, we don't know if this is going to actually happen or not. Politicians say everything, which is why I really wasn't too offended by his shenanigans, because they all talk shit. He's just doing it in a different way. I think one of the homies, Taye, said something that was hilarious. It was like, number one, would I meet with Donald Trump? Of course I would. Number two, I would tell him, if you really want to be anti-establishment, let's talk about these reparations. And that's real. Like, we don't know what's going to happen, man. I think the scariest thing is the fact that he is so inexperienced. And when it comes to affairs with other countries, it ain't good to be looked at as a laughingstock.
Right. But the crazy thing, too, is, man, and it's like, so folks are very upset about the people that he's appointing, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them are not politicians, you know what I'm saying? And, the ones that are politicians is like, oh, man, that's a terrible choice or whatnot. But it's like, when I see him putting CEOs and stuff like that, like, half of me wants to laugh at it. Like, really, bruh, you about to put Vince McMahon's wife in charge of small business?
And granted, she has experience running $1 billion business.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, is that the most terrible thing in the world? Now, the Ben Carson thing, I can't vouch for that. I can't vouch for that at all.
I think Ben Carson is an idiot savant, to be quite honest with you.
Right.
And his area of expertise is not housing or development.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But when I see him, and I know this, like, it's very unpopular to say, but like even with him appointing like the Exxon Mobil CEO
today, that's some bullshit.
It's some bullshit, but it's like these are folks that they have some foreign affairs experience to a degree themselves.
I'm saying
from a business side, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's not like these people are people that were only on Capitol Hill, never left Capitol Hill,
right?
Just always had their pockets lined by whoever was trying to push a bill through. Like, these are folks that have run around the world, seen how business work, which is, the backbone of every damn country. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Granted, we can sit here and act like, oh, no, it's culture, it's the people. Like, no, like somebody's keeping the lights on in these countries, keeping shit going.
It's all a hustle. I mean, I think it's kind of all the backdoor dealings regarding Exxon and Putin and this dude, I think that shit's kind of shady. Yeah. And a lot of these people, we got to remember, we have a Republican House, we have a Republican Senate, but Donald Trump is not a Republican. Never has been. He ran on the Republican ticket. And these people, they're not stupid. Everything is not going to be agreed upon. A lot of these people will not be approved, or it's going to just stay in filibuster forever. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, we'll see how it goes, man. 100%. I think Pharrell brought up something really interesting on his Breakfast Club interview when he stated that he thinks that there's going to be a lot of good art that comes out of this time period.
Oh, yeah, because people are going to be disturbed. People are going to be disturbed. They're going to be inspired in different ways. Like, and some people are just going to completely try to detach from.
I was going to say, I think we live in more of a time of escapism than we do activism.
Yeah, man. Because I have these thoughts daily now. It's like, man, how can I disappear, bro? You know what I'm saying? It's like I honestly don't want to be around none of this, don't want to deal with it, but I'm here though. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I agree definitely, man. It's like there's going to be a lot of inspiration by way of anger, detachment, you know what I'm saying, desperation. So yeah, like we're going to get great visual art, film, music, all of that. I mean, hell, Run the Jewels is dropping technically on Inauguration Day. You know what I'm saying? It's like the digital version drops the week before, but like the physical copies and everything's going to drop on Inauguration Day. You know what I'm saying? And that's
straight up anarchy music. We already know before we even heard it. And it's dope. And I feel like the lead up has been good too. Maybe not so much with music, but definitely with film and television. I mean, we just saw the Critics' Choice Awards where, man, like Moonlight won Best Acting Ensemble. Viola Davis won Best Supporting Actress for Fences. I can never pronounce his brother's first name, and that's sad, but you know what I'm talking about. The brother Ali won Best Supporting Actor for Moonlight from Oakland. And even the Golden Globes, like pretty much all the same stuff got nominated for Golden Globes, including Atlanta got nominated for Best Television Series, Musical or Comedy. Blackish did as well, which is crazy, man. Like we're really seeing kind of a shift and at least people paying attention to good content that's coming from black people.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Like I'm really appreciating it because, you know, it's actually different kinds of stories. Because even at the height, I don't know if you can say that, but even at the time back in the 90s where it's like we had a lot of black folks on TV, a lot of the shows were still kind of the same. Like, you know, granted, I'm not mad at the family idea of a show, but it's like, you know, every show was like about some hardworking family trying to come up, whether it was from Good Times, then you go into Cosby Show, then you have Rock, then you have Family Matters, and you know what I'm saying? It's like everything was kind of like the same. I think the only thing that kind of like popped up is different. Might have been Living Single, Martin, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, okay, nobody got kids.
Skewed younger.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I'm glad that we're actually seeing different narratives, not just, and it is not all prototypically, quote unquote, like positive either. You know, so that's one thing about black content sometimes, the trap we fall into, like, everything had to be positive because we were so worried about how other folks was looking at us. You know what I'm saying? We got to be positive. We got to be, you know, this kind of way. We got to go to school. And we got to, you know.
Right. Like, fuck that.
Like, that ain't everybody family.
That ain't real life. You got to have real life. But I think that's dope, man. And hopefully this translates into the Oscars as well. And even
I think we still got some work to do on the Oscars. I think we still got some work to do.
But even, I mean, normally the Golden Globes kind of it'll give you a feeling of what they're going to rock with at the Oscars. But even if it don't, man, it's at least, because it was once upon a time, like the NAACP Image Awards nominations came out earlier, and even though everybody black that got nominated, it was a time where it was some bullshit getting nominated. So now you have a lot of quality stuff getting nominated, which is dope. I mean, I appreciate it 100%, man. I can't even, and I haven't even watched that. I still haven't watched Insecure yet. I'll get on that.
Yeah, man.
I'll get on that over the holiday.
Do you have HBO though?
Yeah.
Cause like
I have access to watch Insecure.
Definitely do it that way, cause man, it's like that HBO Now app is garbage.
What?
That app is garbage, bruh. And it's like, I thought I was the only one having problems with it. And I went and looked on like the iTunes reviews. It's like, it thing got like 1.5 to 2 stars on every review. And everybody's saying the same. This is garbage. Like, I can't stop. I can't pause. I can't skip. I can't cast. Like, it makes up its own mind. So like, yeah, if you got legit TV, like hardwired HBO, watch it there. You know what I'm saying? Even for all the listeners out there that haven't watched the shows either, man, like, don't get that HBO Now app, man. That shit garbage.
I finally watched, I finally finished The Get Down, because now that Netflix has where you can download stuff, so I tend to catch up on flights. So I finally watched The Get Down. I did watch Evolution of Hip Hop. Have you seen that yet?
I have not. I've heard some good things about it. I've heard, well, I'll say this, which is usually the case with anything that comes out about hip hop. From the casual hip hop fan, like, oh, this is great.
Exactly.
To the hardcore, I already know all this shit person, they're like, yeah, all right, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
And then you got some people that's like, I started watching as soon as I seen Bambaataa face. You know what I'm saying?
I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. But, you know, it was interesting. I'm pretty sure that they were recording this well before Bambaata's penchant for young boys came out.
What's the Fat Boys in it?
No.
And I asked it because, like, I saw something that Questlove was saying. I don't know. Like, I guess he was saying it, like, directly about that documentary. He was like, bruh, if I see another hip-hop documentary that leaves out the Fat Boys, there's going to be a problem. And I was like, I kind of feel you on that, man, because, like, between them and Dougie Fresh, those are, like, the first rappers I kind of got introduced to. And for me, like, oh, this is rap. Like, even before, like, I got into, like, you know, the Run DMCs and then later the EPMDs. Like, the rappers I got introduced first to were, like, Dougie Fresh, Kool Moe Dee, and Fat Boys.
As far as stardom is concerned, we can't act like the Fat Boys and Run DMC wasn't neck and neck for a while there.
Right.
That is kind of whack, especially since Prince Markie D went on to do his thing as a producer and a solo artist in a whole nother time and place in hip hop and was very successful. I wonder why that is.
I don't know, man, because it's like it seems like people, like Greg, I do remember this even as a youngster before, like I like learned what people were thinking about, like, oh man, this is commercial or this is real hip hop. I do remember when I was young, like, when they did that Wipeout song with the Beach Boys, folks kind of be like, oh, man, no.
I actually own that tape.
You know what I'm saying? We done with them, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I remember that as a youngster, like, dang, man, they don't like Fat Boys for doing that no more for some reason. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, that is interesting. Maybe it's because of that. Maybe because, like, they went, like, super duper pop before, you know, the Nellies and the MC Hammers kind of made it like, okay, you can do this. Because, like, I mean, when they went pop, they went all the way with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, and they were never a hardcore group by any stretch of the imagination, but they was always dope. Like, they had some joints and, you know, the beatbox element and all of that. Right. And they had movie. Like, they kind of paved the way
for everything. It's like, you don't hear that stuff. Did they get an unsung?
I believe they did. They got some kind of special.
Yeah. I think they got an unsung. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yeah, man. It's like they get left out of a lot of stuff.
Whack, man. Somebody need to do a Fat Boys documentary. Nelson George, what's up with you, man? You was executive producer of Evolution of Hip Hop, man. You from New York. I think you from Brooklyn. How you gonna leave out the Fat Boys? That ain't cool. Even Chris Rock immortalized them. First, the Fat Boys break up. Now this. That's some bullshit. But yeah, man, before we go, this feel like the award show. What's up with it? What you think about the Grammy nominations, man?
They were still kind of predictable. Because I wasn't even really necessarily surprised with the whole, oh, wow, Chance the Rapper got in. Like, I mean,
they've been pushing for that.
They've been pushing that, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't too surprised. I mean, it's like, I kind of look at the Grammys now, like, you know who's going to get nominated for this stuff damn near 2 months before they even announce it. You know what I'm saying?
I was surprised that Drake got nominated for Views because that album ain't dope.
I was not surprised at all. I mean, hell, like, there's a lot of hip hop albums that are not dope.
They get album of the year though. I mean, other than Macklemore, and you can whether you want to say that's dope or not. Like, I can't really remember too many hip hop albums that got nominated for album of the year that were not.
Okay, I'll take that back. But I'll say this: I was not surprised it was not. I mean, like, it just seems like everybody had something to gain from this album winning. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like they weren't gonna let it not be nominated because, like, it seemed like everybody in the music industry, some way, somehow, was like, we need this album to become like, we're gonna do what we got to do to make this album historic. Like, I'm still trying to figure out who are the people that are listening to this album. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, are they counting mistakes? You know what I'm saying? Like, are people like opening up, you know, their apps and be like, oh damn, I ain't mean to click on that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I have no idea, bro. I don't know, because I've listened to the album once and I was like, I'm cool. And I might have listened, the song I've listened to more than anything off that album is Controller. And it's a good song, but it don't even feel like a Drake song. Like, it's whatever. I think Bieber is gonna win Album of the Year this year.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. That makes sense.
Either him or Beyonce, but I think Bieber. But shout out to Terrace Martin, bro. Our bro got nominated for R&B Album of the Year.
That's dope.
For Velvet Portraits and King. You know,
oh yeah, it's very dope.
Friends
man.
of the show, they got nominated
yeah.
for an R&B category as well, man. But it's gonna be some joints, man. I'm very interested to see if Drake is gonna like clean up like Kendrick did last year or whatever, like, because you know that's always the pit them two against each other. That's always the popular narrative.
I think that it like I mean, granted, I don't think Meek Mill is Nostradamus or anything, but it's like he said on social media a while back, it's like, man, they are tipping the scales for this nigga to win. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so it's like like dude gonna mess around and have like a Lauryn Hill, Beyonce, Kanye type thing, you know what I'm saying, at this award show, man. Because like it seems like everybody had something to do with this dude winning everything this year, and it's like, but I don't hear people actually saying, yes, I actually enjoyed this album. I hear the certain songs getting played the hell out of, but I don't really hear a lot of people just being like, yo, I really enjoyed this album. It seems like a lot of people are trying to defend it. Like, well, this is why you can or why you should enjoy the album. But like, nobody's just really be like, oh man, this is the shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm
trying to figure out how in the hell A Seat at the Table didn't get nominated for anything.
Shit. Because Beyonce's still there, shit.
That's the only thing. Because I thought it was the date, and I was looking at the date. Maybe they didn't submit it. I don't know. But I was looking at the dates, and the dates are fine as far as release time to be considered. And Cranes in the Sky is nominated for Best R&B Performance. It should definitely win. That's definitely the dopest song in the category. And there's some other dope songs. I mean, Permission from Ro James is a banger. Needed Me from Rihanna is a dope song, but Cranes in the Sky is it's top 5 songs that came out in 2016.
Hell yeah.
Period. Point blank. But yeah, that shit should have definitely been nominated, man. But yeah, brother, it's been a good one, man. I think we had a good creative year. A lot of people died this year. A lot of bullshit happened this year. But as far as creative output, man, a lot of dope stuff came out.
Yeah, and I'm like you said, man, it's like, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next year too, because like we're going to have so much turmoil. You know what I'm saying? like this shit ain't about to stop. Like this is just the beginning of this wild ride, bruh.
You're right. 100%, man. But yo, man, we appreciate y'all listening, and we will definitely see y'all next week. Make sure you hit us on social media, DAY1 Radio. Also hit our other page for Hip Hop Trivia ATL. We will be on the road in 2017 to see y'all most likely in a city near you. And as always, you can check out the old episodes, the archived episodes on iTunes and SoundCloud and Spreaker and Stitcher and day1radio.com. We will see you next week.